moment to go around the room and share who we have in the room. Because one of the big things we know as owners is that it's important to know who's in the room with you. So, sir.
I'm Steve Beck, VP of Sales, RJ Beck Protective Systems.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Lindsay Mallmeister. I work here for Stride Executive Assistant.
I'm Sydney Solomons. I work with Meg as the marketing manager.
I'm Jessica Hamilton. I work at the Huron County Veteran Service Office as the director.
I'm Christine Albert. I am from Leisure Living Magazine, and I also work at a nonprofit in Berkeley.
Wait a sec. Who are you?
Dwayne,
Can you hear us on the chat? Can you hear us on the group?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Who are you? I didn't hear you.
I'm Dwayne Henson.
Dwayne Hudson from where?
Henson.
Henson.
Hospice.
Hospice. Who's hospice?
Sincere.
Sincere Hospice.
Yes.
Well, good. And then, okay, we got Leisure Living Magazine.
Steve Ernst with Advantage Entertainment.
Andrew Brewer, I'm a financial planner at Great Lakes Benefits.
Certified
Certified.
financial planner. Oh, that is a big deal.
I'm Mary, and I'm a local realtor.
Jim Mera, JM Capital Services.
Christina Wade with Integrated Network Concepts, your trusted IT partner.
I am Matthew Dick with MGX Technologies, technology strategist expert.
I am Lisa Mongiardo. I am the marketing coordinator for AutoGate, and quick plug, we've just moved in like right across over here is our AutoGate building. I'm totally
Yeah, it's right over here.
Yes. So when you leave, you'll see the sign on the front.
I'm Jason Sass. I'm with Union Capital Mortgage right here in Huron.
I said Mark Shears, we met earlier, Safe Harbor Insurance,
And
Private Mobility.
Okay, so we can go ahead and start with presentation. Thank you, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us online. Part of the CEO Power Hour is that we were able to network in person. A lot of times, networking in person is harder to do, but there are so many advantages to it. So I'm happy you're able to come in. I'm happy you're able to visit us online. And please help yourselves to all the goodies. And what we don't use, we'll leave here with one. Okay, so I want to, first off, sincerely thank Greater Sandusky Partnership. Greater Sandusky Partnership and also Huron County Growth Partnership have been invaluable to my success in the last 10 years as a business owner. There have been a lot of moments where I felt like I didn't know what I was doing, or maybe I was in over my head. And a lot of times the support from them came in and lifted me up to get me to that next step. And I can't even believe they're letting me talk today. So thank you for that. And Mark, thank you for having us in your office. I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to do something with our Huron neighbors. I'm a Huron. I live down the road, and I met with you in your office, and the presence in here is strong and demanding. And I think for our CEO style meeting that this is exactly what we needed. So thank you for having us. Okay, we can go ahead and flip the switch. Okay, so it's funny because AI it's one of those hot topics right now, but AI has been around for years. We've been utilizing AI and growing AI since the 1990s, early 2000s. I've done our team does a lot of work in SEO, algorithm, Google search, all those things, and a lot of that it's AI driven. So the difference is that the technology has been introduced to the public. So everyone has access to it. So it's been funny because once everyone started having access to it, you started seeing like moms and dads. Not that there's anything wrong with moms and dads, but people outside of business using AI for everyday problems, recipes, updating their homes, figuring out what to wear, figuring out how to lose weight. I mean, all of those items has completely changed, and our country is very blessed to have this type of technology. So for the first time in history, we have the strategic analysis available that these huge companies have had. They have had the strength, they've had the money, they've had the opportunity to build their businesses with these strategic partners. And now every single one of us have that. So it's pretty incredible. Move to the next slide. Leaders. I hesitate to call myself a leader because I don't want to be like in the limelight kind of deal. I'm really an introvert on the inside, that's why I'm not breathing right now. But as leaders in the community, we do go first. A lot of times the things that happen, they're going to come through us first. And if we are running our lives with integrity and leading by example, this is one of those things that we just have to talk about, we have to meet about, and we have to be in front of. So the standards are rising across all industries, obviously. I mean, how is everyone in here familiar with AI? Does everyone in here use AI on a daily basis? I agree. So I did too. And once I started researching some of the opportunities, is someone getting in your car? Me? Yeah. Is that your phone? So I also use AI every day, and putting this presentation has challenged me beyond what I was using. We integrated AI like assistant chats, I would say 2 years ago, and now we use it daily, but we're also integrating it. Like I just integrated it with Google Ads yesterday. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But leaders first, we learn by doing, we grow by going first. It is our responsibility as leaders in this community to show the way without fear and with full integrity. Go that next slide. This is my favorite quote. And I don't ever say it like this, and I know not everyone in here is an entrepreneur. I love working with entrepreneurs and people in leadership because it is like you're building the plane when you're learning how to fly down the road. And so we have to take the technology as it comes, integrate it as it comes, lead by example with integrity, but just know it's crazy. And that's okay though. Next slide. Okay, so now these are just the boring. So there's like a couple activities after this. So the numbers do not lie. By 2023, AI is projected to contribute $15.7 trillion to the global economy. That is more than the combined output of China and India. The statistics are pretty high. Good morning, Mr. Christosic.
Ryan.
Oh, hi, Riley.
Kevin Ryan.
Hey, Kevin Riley. Let's share with you.
Yeah, the thing I went back.
Okay, this is.
Here you go. All right. Thank you.
So, I mean, businesses using AI already make decisions 5 times faster. We also have productivity gains 20 to 30% within the first year. And the numbers are staggering. I mean, they're all over the place in a strong way. So the one thing we know about this is that AI is not going away. Even though it's a little scary sometimes, it's not going away. Next slide. So this is a weird thing I'm going to tell you. It feels weird coming out of my mouth, but I'm going to say it. AI is a tool, right? It cannot be the foundation of your business. And I'm sure that there are people in this room that are like, sorry, and that is true. But for my purpose of my presentation, I'm going to hit hard on the fact that AI is a tool and it is not your foundation for your business. Personally, the human interaction with business growth and marketing and branding is still heavily human developed. That relationship, that trust, that's not going away. You can't get that through AI. So the tool of it is good. You can use it for branding. You can use it for design. I have certain stipulations with that. A lot of times I can do things faster on my own by the time I try to have ChatGPT or Claude do anything. So there's that. The biggest thing, the biggest opportunity I believe with AI for us business leaders or community leaders is the strategic thinking of it. A lot of times at the end of the day, my brain hurts and I'll have an awesome client come in, like Mr. Brewer, for instance, and I get all this information and I need time to process it. I need time to process it. I need time to think about it. I need time to strategize about it. It's not something that comes in within 24 hours. And the cool thing about AI is that you have that support, a mentor support, a business partner at your fingertips 24/7. Does anyone have any comments? I've been talking the whole time.
I think you touched on something that's really important, and that's remembering that AI is a tool, it's a resource. I know a lot of people perceive it as a threat. They think it's going to just eliminate the workforce, but there's that human interaction is so important. I mean, just to regurgitate an output from an AI off of a simple prompt is never going to be enough to get you where you need to be. You still need that human input. I think that that's the one part that people aren't really grasping. They look at it as this big, scary resource that's out here and I don't know how to access it. And if I access it, it's going to take everything away from me and I'm not going to have a job. But really, it's our responsibility to learn how to utilize and harness that resource, but also important to know that we have to have that human interface and that human touch on the final output product. That's just an experience share that I've had.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Does anyone else have anything to follow? Mr. Ryan?
Yes, so I have a question concerning how you use AI.
Okay.
You have a problem of some sort or something you need to get done, and there's a solution you're working towards. Do you find it better to provide your rendition of a solution along with data to AI first, or do you find it better just to throw the data in and let AI come out with a solution and you sort of react to that?
So I'm happy to ask that question. And I actually am going to go into detail a couple slides down the road with this prompt that I use. It's called Grit. And it's a really strong way to talk to your AI. And so a lot of times what I've done in the past, and Sydney knows this because I'm like, ChatGPT is so stupid. Why does it keep doing it? Why didn't it just hear what I just said?
Yeah.
Why? And it's not the AI. It's how we're talking to it. It's the information that we're feeding it and how we're feeding it and how we're utilizing it. So when I am talking to AI, I would like to give context. At first I give context. And we'll go over that in just a couple things. So just hang tight for me. Think of most informed advisors. AI is the most informed advisors that you have. And they'll tell you the truth every single time if you challenge them to do it. So that's another part of it. We can listen to AI and it can give us direction, but if we're not, that doesn't make any sense, dude. What are you talking about? I just told you before that this and this, and what about this? And so you really have to challenge AI because it's wrong. It's wrong often. I just had a situation where it told me the flower was one thing, but definitely wasn't. So it's just something to use as a tool to help us with that strategic thinking and help with those processes and stuff in alignment. We can go to the next slide, please. So business is still done with a handshake. I can sit on AI every day, but our business is built on trust, it's built on relationships. That is not going away. So although AI is a tool for us to use, we always want to remember that our foundation is built on those relationships, integrity-based decisions, and handshakes. Next slide. Okay. So I studied visual communications in college. It took me 6 years because I was drinking a lot. And, but I still learned a lot. So, and then I've had the business for 10 years. So I've been doing this for about 15 years. I got real comfortable recently hopping on social media, having events with GSP. We're having a business growth summit. So like all these things. And I'm like, at the top of my head. And then all of a sudden I got hacked by a Russian. And when I got hacked by this Russian, it stopped me straight in my track. So another point, and I wanted to share that with you because it was just like a smack in the face, like, Meg, these tools are tools. You cannot build your business solely on these tools because what happens if AI disappears? What happens if your social media disappears? This Russian got my Facebook page. Why do they want it? You should see what they're posting. It's teacups. Things in it. Sorry, I know what they're posting. It's horrible. No, it's easy to laugh about it now, but it is so horrible. And it's a little scary and it's okay. It's normal to be scared. That's what makes us leaders. We act in fear, right? Like we are not going to stop because we're scared of what could happen. But I just want to remind you that if AI did go away, how does your business look? How are your processes together? Are you still able to move forward with what you're doing? Over 70% of small business growth comes from referrals, repeat business, and existing relationships. That's huge. Technology increases reach. Relationships are what convert and retain. The strongest businesses in the community are built on trust. I don't trust AI. I don't know. It's just the thing. If you were looking to grow your business, AI is a tool, but the trust and the business relationships that you're creating are what is really important. All right, we can go to the next slide. AI can be used for, this is just my suggestion, strategic thinking, challenging assumptions, financial analysis, SEO, positioning audits, data comparison. And then we want to keep our humans. This is what Mark was touching on earlier. AI is a tool, but you can't take away that authentic relationship. You can't take away, oh my gosh, how's your kid doing? Right. You know what I mean? Like that stuff isn't going away. And we want to continue to harness our capabilities in that space along with AI for the strongest conversion. No, that's not the right word. Whatever. Next time.
Maybe you're gonna have these slides available.
Just make sure we do. Okay, so this is. Anyone have any questions?
Are you using the free versions of AI or are you subscribing to the paid versions of AI?
I do both. I have a little bit of all of it.
Do you understand the risk of the free versions?
I do not. No, I do not. And actually, I was thinking about you though.
It's better to take one.
Absolutely. They own your data.
Yeah.
So everything you put up there, the free version, they use that for the models to help increase. So all that intellectual property for your company. And again, if you have a sprawl of like individual employees and you don't have the policy put on it and they're uploading that stuff, all that information is their property.
So literally anything you put in, anyone else can extrapolate out. So that's where we always kind of caution on like some people are saying, make my entire budget or just go to the entire financials and we're going stuff. Oh wow.
Well, I'm about to right? Like that's why we're all here. That's why we have to have these. I was so excited to see tech people on this. There was also that's why I called you Mr. Corso, because there was a gentleman that's coming in and had an AI company. So I was excited to hear what he has to say. But I was in Claude last night and I was doing this team presentation and it went to connect and it's like, can we access all your Google stuff? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, okay, what's the works there because I don't feel comfortable with that. But I would love to talk about that a little bit more with you guys. Obviously, I know I called Matt last week and talked to him about my hack and talked to him about security, and about business and all that kind of stuff. So I would like to touch a little bit on that. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through this, and you can yell at me if you want. These are things that I'm going to do. Hello.
Hello.
Who are you?
Hi, Jeremy. Is this the greater city?
Yeah. What's your last name?
Persistent?
Oh, I just told you about you. You work for
I apologize. I actually went to the Greater Synergy Partnership.
you.
And then I was trying to find Stride, but it's tucked back in here. So I apologize.
No, don't be. No, I was just talking about you because so I've just been blabbing this whole time. You didn't learn this. But I was just giving a basis on AI, talking about it being a tool, not a foundation. Now we're talking about security and all these things. So on this part, okay, so these are the things that I did when I was preparing for this event because I was like, oh my gosh, I can do all these things without reading. Look, you learn about it. So SEO and brand positioning. This is so funny because I have, like I said, I've been using AI for 2 years, but it's just like recently I'm like, oh my gosh, I can do this. I could ask AI this and I could see if I could do this. And it's like every day a little bit is more integrated into that space. But for marketing and business growth and visibility, especially in the digital space, I mean, we have so much data and so much time saved and so many opportunities with AI and our data and our business growth and helping us make those decisions on how we're growing our business, what's stopping us, what our employees are doing, where our money's at. But that's where these things come in. So SEO and brand positioning. how does the world actually see you right now? Now, not how you see you, right? Because we all have our own private judgment. Ask AI to audit your positioning and tell you to fill the gaps. I would really suggest that everyone in this room do these 3 things in 48 hours. So I messaged AI and I said, can we do an SEO and a brand audit on exclusively VA? And this thing came back and it was so good. It was such good information. It wasn't like a smack in the face like I hadn't did it right. It was just showed me the gap in between where we were 5 years ago when my website was built versus where we are now. And then what the difference is, what communication errors are, what needed adjusted, why things weren't coming up. And this is, I make $125 an hour to tell you this, right? Still do that, but you have that availability at your fingertips. And I encourage everyone to utilize that. Yes, you have to have security. I don't quite know what that looks like, so don't put your social security number and that kind of stuff in there. But general questions, I think. Has anyone done an SEO and brand positioning audit with AI? How was it?
It's definitely eye-opening. There are, as far as SEO and looking at keywords, that's something that I use a lot just because we're trying to constantly go against other people where we might not need to be first because where somebody's paying $50 a keyword, like we're never going to beat that. That's not what we want. So what are the other keywords, that we're looking at that we can use that goes towards our business? But I also use it to check since it's just me doing all of marketing. We have a couple of different third-party companies that do different things. So anytime they hand me something, I end up running their lists through just to double check and see what comes back to see, knowing what I've put into, because we have paid ChatGPT. So knowing what I've put into the system and seeing this list here, combine the two and where are the discrepancies and things like that. So things that we are seeing as a company in real time, as opposed to maybe a company that doesn't know exactly what it is that we do and have the little nuances from that human interaction on a day-to-day basis, and kind of combine the two and come up with things from there that I can go back to them and go, no, actually, I do think we need to keep it this way because of this reason. So it's definitely been a helpful tool in that manner to kind of double and triple check to see that what we're doing is working or effective.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And also with that, a lot of times I have these long conversations with AI, and then it just gets buried. I work that out in my mind, but a lot of times the stuff that I'm working with, it goes to the wayside. And even with clients, it's like one thing after another. We have an email needs to go out, the email's down, or Billy Badass is pissed or something, So there's always these like fires you're putting out, and a lot of times we're going through our daily operational management spaces. And so this space to sit down and really look at your goals and to have that strategic planning and is huge. Matt, what do you think about your SEO and brand positioning audit?
We're looking beyond it. It's a dying breed. So SEO is transitioning, especially with the AI and the way that we utilize browsers, interact with that stuff. That's something as a business you need to start looking at, forward thinking. You got GEO, AEO, our different concepts are going in that are more related to the AI. You look at ChatGPT, start to incorporate, especially on the free versions, ads. The reasoning for that is the reason that Google got to where they're at. And that's that ad market. So as that starts getting in there and people start looking for direct content, the way that we use a web browser to extrapolate content or web pages or whatnot, you look at some of these web pages that are 5-10 pages long, literally they're like, where you're looking at 2 seconds that you're wanting to get the content and you're moving on, right?
Yeah.
The attention span. So now that the AI tools, people are using those or even chatting with them to get what they need and then moving on. So the visual interaction and that search is going to change, and the AI engines are going to have a larger say in that down the road, I feel. So that's something I would definitely take a look at, is what that looks like and how they're ranking.
Yeah, and I appreciate that too. And he's totally right. Everything is changing. It's changing so quickly. I was just in Google Ads yesterday, and I put a whole extension, a marketing expert extension from Google. Like, it's constant. I agree with you on the SEO. It is changing. It's going into that AI space, but also that those same practices are what gets you to the top anyway. So a lot of the techniques we know, and a lot of those things go back to being a business with integrity. You want to give your audience the right information. You want it to be of value. You want it to be easy to understand. You want it to be relational based. You want to connect with them on a personal level. Like, those things aren't going to change if we're looking at it in AI or we're looking at it on Google. They're all important. Okay, so
Yeah, I do have a question, and we can come back to this later, or this can be something that we go into for either of you, because you brought up a good point there. But isn't like the GEO still based off of the things that we're doing for SEO? So we still need to keep up on the SEO things because it's still.
It's not going away. Correct. Yeah. I mean, we're looking at, this is
it's your foundation.
Yeah, this is me visionary, like, well, years down the road. But again, like we're seeing with anything, like the pace that this is changing is very, very rapid. I think most rapid than we've ever seen since Industrial Revolution. So with that pace, if you're behind, you're going to be behind.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I don't want to get caught up in the word SEO, but even just a brand audit, like one of my clients has dumpsters. So I very lately had the conversation with him, which I'll go over this. Told him the context of what's going on, asked AI what the role was, and worked that way out. And the amount of information that it was able to give me. Now, I see this information from a professional standpoint in all these other platforms. I'm looking at analytics. I'm looking at all of the Google situations, all of the CRM platforms, but those are all like figuring out when you can save a little bit of time. I'm not going to live on it, but save some time, get an idea of what's going on. It's huge. So financial statements. I'll share this with you as well. I don't know why I'm going to. I had my Aunt Shelley, she does my bookkeeping. Man, she went hard on taxes last year. She's like, this girl ain't paying no taxes. And I showed a loss, right? So I sat down with her. We were getting ready to go to the accountant, and I'm like, look, let's put this profit and loss into AI, and let's have the conversations about it. Let's have them look at it as an expert accountant. Let's have them look at it as a business growth strategist, and be an outside perspective to what I'm seeing every single day in this business is huge. And it's just a tool, obviously, but it also is an opportunity to think outside of your comfort zone, to think from an unbiased opinion. And I thought that was life-changing. So what do you think? What do you guys say about that? Because you said that it was like security.
Is it a paid version or free version that you uploaded? Yeah. So,
okay. Yeah. But I mean, either way,
it's a big difference.
It does. So what can you tell us about that?
From a paid version standpoint, I mean, it's a thought partner, right? At the end of the day. So tool, thought partner, that's how I try to reframe it, is a thought partner. It doesn't replace the human element. You know, I'm very big on that as well. So you have to have the knowledge of what to ask it, and you have to have the knowledge of understanding what it's outputting, right? And what to do with it.
Oh,
right? So that's huge. So it gives, like, for me, I have ADHD and whatever there. So like with that, you can get kind of in the weeds. You can use it as a tool to kind of, hey, follow these points. This is what you need. Zoom in, zoom out, and then kind of move on with your day. So for me, it's been tremendously helpful in kind of keeping some focus. And if you're doing like your financials or any of that kind of stuff there, and you're putting parameters around what you're trying to get the expectation out of it, it can be very quick in generating that on something that would take me, a few people, FTEs, or some time.
Mm-hmm, for sure. So what I'm gathering out of this is, if you are using AI or IT people, although we haven't heard from Mr. Beck, do suggest that you get the paid version because it's more secure. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say like the unpaid version is kind of like the Wild Wild West. There's no rules of engagement. So literally anything you put in is free range for anyone else to extrapolate out. And so that's what you want to be really conscious of.
You guys want a yogurt?
Okay.
Muffin? Piece of chocolate? I got almonds for you, so I
Oh, yeah.
figured you'd use some protein.
And I'll just zoom out on that point real quick for everybody that's a business leader or in a business, would be your policy, AI policy, policies inside your business, then I would
Good.
zoom out, and then what about all the vendors? So is that company A that you're doing your accounting with, are they uploading your data to a free version? You don't know, right? To an AI, how are they using AI in other companies, and how are they securing that? So now your data is out there, and that's the question you really need to have to kind of ask. And again, I don't do that as a fear metric by any means, but to ask about, again, how are they utilizing AI and what's their policies around it? A lot of places don't have AI use policies. If we're going around consulting clients, that's what we're value adding to their business and whatnot to kind of get some insight. But as a business leader and owners and operators in the business, would be a good question to know, what is the data flow? Where is your data going? So we see that a lot in our compliancy measures with credit card compliancy, to understand the data flow and whatnot. So I would say the same thing should apply to all your vendors of how are they utilizing AI, and what are they doing with your data?
Very good. Does anyone online have any questions? We have everyone still with us?
There's a question that came in through the chat that said, Sue Doherty asked, who was the person that brought up the point about where is your data going?
Matt Dick.
Who was it?
Matthew Dick, MGX Technologies.
Matthew, thank you. I would like to talk to you after this meeting. And those are my concerns exactly, is we're all pro AI and how helpful it is, but we're not looking at the potential consequences.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that question. And I have to again applaud the leaders in our community like GSP for having events like this and being at the forefront of these conversations, because like we're talking, it's unregulated. It is the Wild West, even if it is a paid version, like it's just crazy. But yeah, and it's also, we'll touch a little bit on one of these slides, but having partners in the community that you can rely on when you're in those spaces is imperative. Okay, so the last one on this, these are the 3 things I'm suggesting you do when you go home. Your business plan. If you want to, I would suggest you have a business plan. How many veterans do we have in this room? But for next reason. Of course. I would imagine you have some type of a plan for the Veteran Service Office. I don't know if it's called a business plan. I don't know what it's called. We have a plan. But an idea. So I would suggest you have the conversation with AI about your business plan. And the biggest thing, and we'll get into that on the next slide, and I don't know if these kind of works. But you want to challenge AI. We can go ahead and go to the next one. Most of us have never had someone challenge our plan from zero ego and complete honesty. And so that's just one of those things, the opportunity we have when we're talking to our AI assistants is to challenge it. It just started. One of our platforms was like, oh, they just kept agreeing with everything I was saying. Just telling me I was doing a good job, and it's just getting under my skin. So you have to create these AI processes and conversations in a space that makes sense for you to get the most information out of, an agreeable space. You really just want to challenge what it's telling you. Data is only valuable when you can act on it. Obviously, we have so much data. That's just a little string of website traffic. And the amount of data that's in that little picture is massive to a business. And a lot of times, people that may not have a strong background in analytics in those spaces would have a harder time looking and analyzing what their numbers were trying to tell them. With AI, obviously, you're able to input this information, have these comparison conversations, these strategic conversations, and really take the data and make action steps. Because like I said, a lot of times we put all this in and then there's no action steps after that, like you mentioned. So how are we making those steps to fully utilize the ridiculous amount of opportunity in front of us? Okay, Mr. Merritt. Ask better questions, get better answers. So what I have done is I have stopped trying to tell AI what to do, because then it will do what I say, and I am not as intelligent as AI, so that's silly of me. So I try to challenge, I work with AI, and I make sure that I challenge it. I ask questions. I ran that full SEO report. It came back with all the gaps, and what I decided is that I need to stop giving AI tasks, having it help me with. Is AI a girl or a guy or an it for you?
What is it to you? Do whatever.
They. That's what I'm going with. But AI, a lot is when I first started, a lot of it was task based. So, but now in this different space and utilizing the more I can utilize it in my space as a business development manager, I have to ask those questions. We can go to the next slide.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Can we go back to that second point there? When you run the brand audit,
Mm-hmm.
what information are you putting in, or are you saying, okay, here's my website, this is what it looks like now? Like, what information did you put in to get the whole brand audit?
So on the next slide, there's this prompt that I like.
Jeff Woods fan.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, the framework that changed everything. So crit, so context. It's one of those things where I always saw it like on Pinterest, and you see it on TikTok and people have these suggestions, but this helps me completely change the way and the information that was given back to me. So Jim, this is one of those things. So context, you want to give AI, it's the first step when you're having the conversation. You want to give AI what it needs to know, what is happening, why it's happening, and all relevant details about your business and situation. You can absolutely, I try not to overload the AI because then I feel like it misses stuff. So I try to go in, but you can do it however you want. You want to give it a good paragraph of context, a couple paragraphs, so that it knows what's going on. Then you want AI to act as a role. You have to tell AI what role you want it to be. So your role is to act as an expert in accounting with its expertise in business development for manufacturing companies in China. That's what you really want to narrow down who the AI is supposed to be, because they have centuries of information that we will literally never be able to have, obviously in our heads. So it's a huge blessing. Interview. This is my favorite part. You do not have to stop at 3 questions. You want to say, AI, interview me, ask me 1 question at a time, up to 3 questions to gain deeper context so we can accomplish the task. And then the task, generate 5 non-obvious strategies we can deploy to. This can be anything. Does anyone have an example? Interviewing, let's say, well, you can just fix anything. So does anyone have a question about this context? So let's say, give AI everything it needs to know. So when I did my business audit, I exclusively, I've been in business for 10 years. I'm local. These are the services I offer. This is my website. I was doing business growth strategy. Now we've moved into business development agency. This is our team. Here's our problems. Here's where I want to see. Here's what I'm trying to increase. And just tell it what's going on. Your role is to act as an expert in business development for small businesses, with deep expertise in digital marketing. For me, right? Interview me. And then the questions that it asks are fantastic. They're the most thoughtful questions that we would not normally think, because they are bringing so much of this pool of information together.
Yeah. And one thing I'll add is, like, if anybody's intimidated with, prompting and trying to engineer the perfect prompts and whatnot, really just think about it and take a step back and think, like, you could do a meta prompt. You can ask the LLM, large language model, to give you the prompt to basically accomplish what you're looking to accomplish, right? You need to obviously give it the context, tell you the role, the task, the specifics, but just basically talk to it, tell it what you're trying to accomplish, ask it, give you a meta prompt for this, it'll give you the meta prompt, copy that, and then as funny as it sounds, open up a new session, give it that prompt, and there you go.
For sure. Because if not, it gets so jumbled. That's why I was saying I try not to put so much in there. Because by the time I'm done with it, I'm like, would you mind introducing yourself to everyone?
Yeah, my name is.
Sorry. Do you know Andrea?
Yeah, yes, or Andrea, my sister.
Is that your sister?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
My younger sister, so I have a sister named Andrea. Not sure if that's the same one you're referring to.
She used to work with me.
Oh, okay.
She's a doll.
Okay.
SNH Blinds, right?
Correct. Yep. So my name is Jeremy Kristosik. Didn't really expect to do the public speaking thing, but
Get used to it, buddy.
I know. I'm trying to get myself out there a little bit more. These networking events and stuff, because it's easy to get buried behind the screen and not talk about all this AI.
Because
where
you
it's going.
literally have an AI business. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second.
So I started my AI agency 2 years ago. It's RAC Projects AI. And then after a while, kind of understanding, like getting into the weeds and figuring out like what it really was that was needed. And it was, people were throwing AI at the wall and just saying, AI this, AI that, you need it, like open up a checkbook, let's just write these checks and like watch where it goes. Well, a lot of things started failing. A lot of like projects started like getting a bad rap because they just basically were Band-Aid, duct tape, putting just basically stuff together, hoping that it would work. So we decided that we were going to start out with the audit and trying to figure out the foundational pieces of the business. Where does AI fit? Where does automation maybe play a better role? So we started auditing, my co-founder and I, my brother. And basically it's an AI tool to help AI consultants run the AI audit in a systematized, structured way at scale. Cool. And basically that's kind of the journey we're kind of progressing to. And we're seeing a lot of positive momentum because everything you're talking about here today with the SEO audit, everything you mentioned with the generative engine optimization, I totally think that, we're not going to be trying to appeal to other humans. Unfortunately, like in the internet that we're going toward, we're going to be appealing to AI agents. And what's an AI agent? I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but basically it has the ability to have tools that you equip it with. It's got the large language model or the brain. So you have the hands, you have the brain, so it's able to take action. And basically people are going to be talking to their AI, their agent is going to have a persona, and then it's going to go out and accomplish the task for the individual. So you're not going to be appealing necessarily to you or me. You are to be appealing to the AI agent. So if your business is structured in a way that's appealing to the agent, that's also going to your SEO or GEO. Something to consider. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Yeah.
I've been in the weeds for 2 years. So.
No, I feel you. It's funny because I'm like trying to put a simple presentation together, but there's so much. I mean, I could have made this 4 hours long. Thank God it wasn't 4 hours long. But yeah, thank you for that. And
so if I could just, so it's a takeaway to really think about this as a partner and a collaborator as opposed to something you want to command. Right?
Yes.
Because I think you just referenced that something it's more they're good as a collaborator.
yeah, it's a strategic partner. It's an expert consultant. I mean, it's your mom.
I think that's sort of that's intuitively because we're used to prompting we use the word command, right? Command. I command you to do what I want.
It's an
Please and thank you very much.
Right.
I'm like, hi.
It's an intern with a PhD. So it's a assistant with a PhD level degree, and you can ask it anything at any time.
But it's really cool, to have you here and to have our IT people here, so we can have these conversations, because you don't know. It's difficult. You don't know what you don't know, but it's true. Yes.
I was gonna ask if anybody had created their own AI agent. I'm in the process of creating one like right now. And obviously, yeah. No, we have an old access control platform we've been using literally since like the 1990s. And they're based in the UK. They don't have like the best, they have a website, but I'm like trying to build like all our database and just like put it in there just to help, because it's like our biggest platform. So it's just, that's something that I've been working on.
Well, good. Well, maybe we'll have a collaborative moment here. And do you guys do like more of like process-based, is process-based growth, or are you more in the?
It's basically founder-led content. Is that like how we're getting our name out there, or? Yeah, I mean, as far as the process goes, I've heard that the start to finish, like for the audit.
No, I mean, like, what's the service you're offering to customers? Is it an online audit to see if they have where their opportunities are for AI?
Yeah. So it's actually an interesting concept. It's more of a product for the AI consultants to be able to equip them with the tool in order to then go ahead and run.
So business to business.
Business to business.
There's gonna be some money.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. That's cool. Does anyone have any questions about this, Jim? Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about anything specific on that?
No, I think that's good.
Mr. Brewer?
We built like a Jarvis yet?
What's a Jarvis?
Yeah. So basically.
I think Jarvis Cole, he's pretty.
So I think the question is essentially like an AI assistant that's almost like an orchestrator.
That's what a Jarvis is?
Essentially, yeah.
Like, Iron Man.
Yeah, just start saying
Good morning, Jarvis.
Yeah, so that's the next layer. Agentic AI. And basically right now, there's this new, I'm not gonna make this centered on me or anything, but.
This is, we're a community here.
Yeah.
You can talk.
So we're working on something called an AIOS. So basically an AI operating system where you can wrap it around your business and not, so it's not disrupting, it's not misplacing or, displacing, interrupting your workflows. It's wrapping around. So you have your Jarvis, but you have your orchestrator who can have the research team, the marketing team, the HR team, the sales team, basically the wrapper around your business. And it actually does things for you. Now, going back to the security thing.
Yeah, that's the scary part, right?
So yes, you can have security layers. And if you have a paid plan, there's, go to the settings. I encourage everyone to do it. How effective it is, I don't know. But you can opt out to not share your data and your privacy and all that stuff. So make sure you kind of go there and just check that box. But yes, security can be a concern, but when you keep everything local on your machine, there's really, if you be smart about it, obviously, but it mitigates a lot of that security risk if you kind of keep things local.
Like, is like not playing in the cloud?
Correct.
Oh.
So let me ask you this, what isn't the OS?
What is it?
My question is the operating system you're referring to, you say you're building it, but isn't that what Microsoft Copilot is in Claude and Chat?
They're probably all working.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get clarification, right?
Right.
On when you say you're building it, are you building it in that ecosystem? You're not, or is this like something outside of that ecosystem?
So essentially, Copilot and things like Siri and whatnot have been around. And quite frankly, they're not as impressive as they've been hyped up to be. But the difference between like a Copilot and this AI operating system is that you're working in the cloud infrastructure in their environment, right? So you don't own any of that. But this operating system that's on your machine, yes, it's powered by Claude, which is a large language model. But if you're keeping things local, you're having your own environment, really. And if you wanted to have your own cloud where you can take it off-site, there's things like a virtual private server, obviously. That's another discussion, but yeah. So the difference is it's yours, it's contained, and it's your environment.
For sure.
Yeah, and I'll just add, Matt, with MGX here, just a takeaway here. I think that's what's highlighted here. There's a lot of technical jargon. There's a lot of things changing for business owners and operators and whatnot. And I think it highlights the importance of strategic AI partners that have been around that in the industry that understand security frameworks, networking to the AI. Partners just like Christine with INC, MGX, Jeremy and his group there. You want to vet your partners because you can go on Facebook, you can go on LinkedIn, and you can find AI advisors right now are a dime a dozen. That could be, someone that just started yesterday because I got a few prompts, right? This here's an example of a prompt. But if you don't know what to do with that prompt, like don't feel like you have to get overwhelmed with it. That's where we're here to help alleviate that. That's where your partners come into play. So make sure you're vetting your partners, but also utilizing them, right? So like we're in this space because we came from a technology aspect of things. We've seen the transitions, we've seen the growth. We know that it's a tool, but we also know the importance of having secure posture all the way around to be able to guide you. So please use your partners for that. Don't get so overwhelmed in the tech and the verbiage and the jargon that's out there. We're here to help.
Yeah, and one thing I'll add to that, and you're 100% right with the jargon. I fall victim of that myself because I think everybody talks and things like me. But I would encourage that any business owner kind of promotes or finds someone who can be that like dedicated chief. I call it a chief AI officer. It's basically having somebody who's kind of getting into this stuff because you don't have quite the time to do it, but also maybe not the interest.
We have a question in the chat. It says, anyone have thoughts on Claude Cowork, setting up a USB drive to host and keep data private locally?
Tons of thoughts. Love to consult. That's what we do.
Well, could you share any advice for who would ask that question?
Blink Hunger, I believe.
Yes. So inside of that question would be to understand, again, our approach from MGX standpoint. I'm sure Christine's is the same, is similar as well. So we want to understand what the business goal is, right? What's the intent? So, that might not be the right solution. If you're trying to tinker or play around with it or explore, it's an option, but it does open up a lot of security risk, right? So you're putting an AI agent that's going to learn your flow and workflow and look at all your files on your computer, just so you understand the risk. Again, if you've got a free version, boom, that stuff's going right out there. If you have a paid version, a little different, but still, you want to be cognizant of what's getting put out there. So any pictures that you have from family pictures or personal items to corporate doc, whatever, understand that could be, it's processing that potentially, right? So when you put those cowork agents on there and you want them to go through your email, like it needs all that data to be able to know what to do with it. So, and it's internet connected, right? So to his standpoint there about an AIOS, which is just a local LLM, custom LLM that requires some IT infrastructure to understand and process that. There's security aspects at all angles of this. So I would just caution and really want to understand the need of what the end goal that you're trying to, what efficiency are you trying to gain?
A question for my IT is really for myself. So if I, as a business owner, was looking to integrate some IT security, what kind of investment would I be looking at for that kind of support?
We'd love to have a conversation. It's hard to say.
Like a couple $100 a month?
I can't give that answer because there's so many variables, right?
Well, here's my variable is that a lot of businesses, and which is crazy, I was just looking for I can't find the exact quote, but it is a staggering number of businesses within the United States, I swear to God, it was 90%, are at $100,000 a year. And we're talking 80-90% of businesses. So how are these businesses that are making $100,000 able to afford and integrate AI security with as quickly as they can?
Yeah.
The flip side is how can you not,
when if you get hacked, if you're compromised as a small and medium-sized business, you're likely to completely go out of business within 18 months. Completely.
Detriment.
So it's
a flip of the coin.
It's no longer a choice as far as if I do cybersecurity or take that seriously anymore, just because there's different frameworks that are being applied, especially how many of you have insurance policies? All right, so I guarantee if you asked your insurance provider, what happens if we have a cyber risk? If you even if you don't have cyber risk insurance, on the policy. If there is a data leak or anything like that, what are the requirements to be in good standing with them, where they're going to actually pay out, right? So they could find
insurance.
right. So keep that in mind from that angle.
And cybersecurity insurance is null and void if you're not meeting the minimum parameters, basically. Yeah. So, yeah.
Christina, this actually is a good segue to the fact that you're on behalf of GSP hosting a cybersecurity webinar for members next month on May 12th. You want to just mention a little bit about that?
Yep, we're just gonna walk you through, talking about putting some of the locks on the doors and windows of your house, of your business and IT, and really want to keep it just an open, conversation about where folks are and see what questions you have, and just give some of our recommendations, because we are SOC 2 compliant, which means someone's gone in and said we know what we're doing and can guide and counsel you. We can help you either A, get cybersecurity insurance, or B, get lower rates on your cybersecurity insurance. So we just want to talk about some of those things that you can be doing to making sure that the house is secure.
May 12th at 10 o'clock, you can register on our website.
I appreciate that. And some of my clients have been in business for my family business. Don't look at that computer. It looks like really bad. But I called Matt because one of my clients, he has a martial arts business, and he has this old computer. It's files all over the place, and his whole business is in this computer. And it was part of that Facebook rush I had the pleasure of going through. But it's hard, and I struggle being a business owner myself. My numbers probably could be better because I have a strong heart, so I really try to help people. And I am concerned about the security with small businesses in that space and having some help. They just need some. So it's nice to have everyone in this room, and also with GSP, so they can help kind of navigate that space and give them someone to talk to, because I don't know what's it. Hi, Alyssa. Hi, how are you? Would you like a Red Bull? No, thank you. Okay. It's sugar happy.
Quota today.
Oh, it's almost 12. We're reset.
Meg, I would just, to your point there, I would just add on that reframing the thought of IT expenditure, cybersecurity as a pure metric or as an expenditure. While yes, it has an expenditure to it, but it is truly an investment to your business and to your clients, right? So think of it, reframe it that way, that it isn't a long-term investment for your business, protect and ensure the data for your business and also for your clients that you help manage and serve.
So question. What did you think about that insurance question, Larry Park?
I loved it. I happen to know a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that, from just overall from an insurance standpoint, right now, EPLI, employment practice liability insurance, and cyber, if you don't have those as a business owner, you're exposed. Those are two of the most prominent claims that we're processing right now. We're in a crazy litigious environment, and we have a lot of wrongful termination for just a variety of reasons that I've seen pay out. And if you don't have that EPLI coverage, you're hanging in the wind on that one. And then again on cyber, the hacks from the Russians and whoever else is out there, the nefarious characters, the exposure is pretty great. You want to make sure that you're shoring up. So I agree with what Matt was saying down there. You want to make sure you're consulting with somebody and tie up any loose ends, because you do not want to be on the other side of that feeling exposed.
Oh, it's horrible.
You have to remember these hackers, they only have to get it right once.
Yeah, correct.
But they can put it out, 100 different ways to 100 different people.
They're using AI to figure out how to come at us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And Mark, from that standpoint, how are you seeing it from a general insurance, like a business insurance, general liability policies?
There's just really no coverage for these type of topics. You want to have a separate.
But they're starting to write in some like
guidelines,
IT guidelines,
absolutely.
even in those basic policies.
Yeah, you don't. Well, we have found out that, if you check the wrong box that no, we don't have policies and procedures or have an AI policy, that opens them up to deny your claim down the road. So you want to be really, really careful and really, really consult with an expert in cybersecurity. Sounds like we have an expert from the IT side at the table, and the folks over there at Safe Harbor are really well versed in that as well too. So I'll give a cheap plug there.
Our next event panelists up on the front and center. We know what's going on. And then one more question for our IT people. Do you know are there
business grants, is there space where there is help out there for businesses to integrate security as technology shifts? Like my 65-year-old retail shop, you know what I mean? Like they're so far gone from life today. I don't even know how to integrate them. I don't even know where to start. And it's really not my responsibility other than I care about them. So do you guys know of any?
You're looking for like grants to help out with like small business grants?
I mean, some of that.
Yeah, is there space in that? Do you guys know anything about that? Do we have any space we can
I
find?
think the GSP needs to lead that. There's always been grants, at least in our industry, like, oh, hey, they need, $40,000 to upgrade this, school camera system. That is something people are definitely lacking. So that needs to go on the policy side.
Okay.
And depending on the SBA too, I know like we work with the SBA over at Huron County Community College and different things, and they really have the pulse on those programs, and so we definitely have resources that we can refer to. But I wouldn't know if they grant per se, but those resources that be the help.
I'll check with our development team and for that May 12th program. Well, maybe we'll have some resources.
It would be nice, and it's kind of hard to figure out what to do first. I want to do it, And I love the SBDC. I like all those. There's so many great organizations, but just being able to know what to go to them about, because we are all in our own heads, that could maybe be a good context for a prompt ChatGPT or what the spaces are that we're lacking. So that's all really good information. Hey, thanks for the coffee. You guys, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we're at the last slide. Is everyone still with me?
Yeah.
Are you guys texting me over there? Okay, so this is just a recap. So I'm always going to go with strategy first. I don't think that you have a very strong opportunity to get somewhere if you don't know where the heck you're going. AI is not the foundation. Your thinking, your relationships, and your leadership are the foundation. AI is the leverage. Access. Everyone has access to this. So your competitors, your community. It's go time. It's time to implement it and use it, and don't be afraid of it. Can't be afraid of it, but do be smart about it. Make sure you're connecting with your community partners. Make sure you have their number. Take their business card. You might not need them now, but you might get hacked by Russian, and then you're going to need them. So smart to have that.
That's a fair work with you before you get hacked by the Russian. I would say
that
would look like they're being more proactive than reactive, but
I thought that. I was like, oh, I know. I got all this. I thought I had it going on. So ask better questions. Use the CRIT framework. You can use this framework. There's a bunch of other props. I'll get with Alyssa and we'll get this presentation out so you can have that. But you can use it however you want. You can tell it the information that you think. You can say, this is what I think we should do. This is why I think we should do it. Challenge me why you think we should do it from this standpoint, and make sure that you give me these topics to go over, and then just keep having that conversation. Jim, Mr. Mayor, was the first person to introduce a logo from AI. Passed out. But I didn't even realize that was an option. What was that, almost 2 years ago?
It wasn't yet.
You were ahead of it.
It wasn't very good.
Yeah, but I was like, you can do that. I went home. What? And then
Just think it's the worst that it'll ever be right now.
yeah, for sure.
Hallelujah.
Audit your business now. So let's shift this business audit situation. Yes, I am a business growth lady. I am a branding, online, visible PR person. So I think that there's a lot of value in having a conversation with AI to increase your visibility and your messaging. But with this section, audit your business as far as figuring out who your community partners who your community partners are for IT, what holes in your system you have. Get a consultation from one of our friends over here. Maybe look at it that way. One of the things after my Russian hack was to get with the clients and make sure that they had all of their, which I don't even know if this is my business, but I wanted to do it because I just went through this. And so I wanted to share,
You have to make sure your two-step authentication's on. You have to, so we kind of went through that space and created an audit. So people like me, a lot of other people in the digital space, they're gonna have a background in it, and most of them just want to help. Business is still built on trust. Technology increases reach, relationships convert and retain. Lead with integrity every single day. Next slide. Okay, that's it. So, anyone have any questions?
I just want to say thank you, Meg, for putting this together and putting yourself out there. It's truly, there's a lot of people out there, right? And incorporating it into their business, and for you to take what you've done and kind of put out like a leadership focus. I think that's an important messaging that needs to get out there. And the GSP for putting these kind of events together is definitely helpful for the community. It creates a conversation. There's plenty of trusted partners out there. So make sure that you're vetting those. But thank you for obviously taking the time to put this together and to connect everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say though that this wasn't the topic that I chose. This was based on GSP. This is based on surveys. They want to make sure that they're giving information to their members that's important to you. So I'll have to give credit to these guys. They do a fantastic job. And Alyssa, will you introduce yourself? Does everyone here know Alyssa?
Yes.
Rock star. No,
Hi
seriously.
everyone, my name's Alyssa. I work for GSP and do marketing, communications, and creative work for the team.
Yeah. She's awesome. How long have you been there?
I've been with the organization for about 4 years. Before my marketing role, I think I know most people from my Rise role, which is a lot of fun. We do entrepreneur support services, so like business advice.
Yeah, I got a stellar group. Anyone else have any questions? Who have we not heard from? Jason? How are you using AI with wait, hold on, title.
Actually, I just started dabbling into it, but I'm using it more and more, looking up loan guidelines, different program requirements, budget rules, just abstract stuff that, a loan scenario that I might not have seen in the last 5 years. I can't remember. I don't want to go dig it up in some like guidelines somewhere. I'll ask, ChatGPT or Google AI, and it spits out the answer. I'm like, okay, that's what I needed to know. So for that respect, it's awesome. It's a great tool.
It is. And how do you integrate it with your clients? Like with your, I know you and Mary work together. Do you work with like the buyers and sellers, or do you work primarily with real estate agents?
Most just buyers.
Okay. Oh, the buyers. Okay.
I do the financing end of it.
Okay.
It's very heavily regulated. So the AI is probably.
Jason's got to get us the clear close.
AI helps put cleaner files together to know how to structure it up front.
Oh yeah, that's good. Is there anyone else in here we haven't heard from?
We actually have a question virtually.
Yeah.
And I think they've unmuted themselves. Please introduce yourself and go ahead and ask the question.
Hi, yes. My name is Link Conger. I work in Norwalk at American Timber and Steel, and
Hey, Link.
Yes.
That business is popping over there.
It's fun.
Yeah, congratulations on that space. I've been watching it go up the last couple of years. I have an office over by Naturally Country, so I drive by there all the time.
Oh yeah, it's a fun business to work for. Very technology focused, and you wouldn't think so in a wood plant.
You can tell because of the growth.
Yeah. That's our small plant. The larger one is in Texas. So if you see that, that's probably a tenth of the size that's down there. But yeah, we're heavily into AI. We've been working with a lot of companies. I work on the side AI consultant as well. It wasn't really spoke upon, and I don't know if you guys want to go into it more. As an owner, a lot of owners have questions as how do I implement, how do I keep it safe, and so forth. And a lot of we talk top down. Owner needs to be fully into AI, and then it scales down from there. My question to you guys would be, what is your thoughts if you have an executive level that uses AI now? how would you implement to the lower like sales teams and such? And if you don't want them to use it, just speaking out of what we run into a lot of times is a lot of companies don't want their employees to use it, but yes, they have a policy. If you wanted a middle ground, how would you approach that?
All right, let me try to understand your question a little bit better. So
You have 40 salesmen, but you want your execs to use AI. How do you differentiate we're going to allow AI in the exec team, but not for the sales teams?
just tell them you're the boss. Right? No, I don't know. I would imagine that would be the case though.
It's what we run into a lot is.
How are you gonna do that?
Makes some sense.
What we run into a lot is there's a lot of different opinions as to we want chat, we want Grok, but in 3 months they're all going to be so much different. So if you run a local LLM, like the local language models, and you're trying to update yourself every 3 months, it's a lot to handle. There's a place in Toledo, Actual Reality, that they run a online service that is always updated. There's like 6 different models you can choose from. So like, I guess like what would you choose, and how would you say to your sales team, hey, not just from a lack of knowledge of, hey, don't upload this document because we don't want them to upload a personal document into it. How do you limit them from uploading said document and saying basically don't? Is that just a learning thing that you guys teach?
Well, as a business owner myself, if I was having that situation, I would set some time apart and create a process for it. I'd create a process and I'd create some rules around it, and I would make sure that I informed the team on what was going on. And then obviously as technology changes, we would want to meet on that topic as often as needed and just have some control over it. And then, obviously some reprimanding if needed, but that's how I would handle it. Does anyone else have any
It's more of like a
suggestions?
directive, like you could type it up, put all the information on there. If you have to change it, you could just go back in, tweak it a little bit, but at least have them talk to them about it and have them sign it.
Yeah, and also I think everyone has like strong intentions. So I think it's probably just like an educational thing. Like, hey, this is why we're not doing this. We're not using this platform because we want to use this platform, and this is why. Here's the benefits. Here's how it can benefit you, and kind of present it that way. That's what I would do. Does anyone else have anything to say?
Yeah, I would just say, have a dedicated individual who is up to speed on, the things that, yeah, exactly, or delegate to somebody else if you don't have time being the business owner, to be able to be educate, kind of, I guess, inform the rest of the staff of what AI is capable of and what we shouldn't use it for and what we should use it for. So going back to your point, it is an education piece, I think, just informing.
Yeah, and it might give you an opportunity to partner with your community too, like bringing in an IT person, having a seminar with them, having a conversation like this with your team for professional development, team building. It's definitely not going away. So I think any way you can integrate that is smart.
Yeah, so from my insight, Link, great question. I would say what you mentioned before, the top-down approach. So as an executive team and as a company vision, you need to understand what AI means for you and how you want to utilize AI, whether it's from a sales, from a marketing approach to whatever business elements you want to benefit you from. Then from there, at least from my group, what we've done from a sales aspect is we've actually used Claude Teams. And then the team, as part of that, I can put a prompt and say, hey, this is the sales team, and here are our parameters. We're a company XYZ, we're veteran founded. And then you put all the parameters. Here's our ideal clients. And then that way, when they're interacting with the tool that we agree on, then they're getting all that information already built and not having to recreate that. And we're also being able to control some of those security narratives. So I hope that kind of helps answer that question there, to kind of starts really what you mentioned earlier, top down, to really understand how you want to utilize it. And then once you kind of define your tool set, then you can kind of add prompts or do different prompt engineering for your different teams to kind of explain the business and help put parameters around it to be successful.
Love that.
Yeah, I was just speaking in general. I mean, we're good where we're at, but just talking on if somebody doesn't know, I guess that process, as so you guys could give them insight. Because that's what we run into a lot when we work with other companies is the owner says, well, I don't know what to do because I got Joe using chat on his phone and I got this and that. So if somebody out there business wise right now had that same question, I just wanted to bring that up. It wasn't really spoken on as much.
Cool. No, thank you. Appreciate that for sure. Did that answer your question?
I just wanted people to be able to hear that rather than just like what is AI? I mean, a lot of stuff within AI is all knowledge based and inside of a company, if the president isn't 100% behind it, it's really tough to implement. So if somebody's in here that's questioning, do I want to do it? Do I don't want to do it? There's a lot more risks and misuse rather than the AI tool being wrong. It's a lot of misuse by the end user.
That's true.
I think we have another one of our virtual participants that wants to chime in. Would you like to introduce yourself and share your thoughts?
Hi, I am Kalia with Serving Our Seniors, and I am their IT troubleshooter and administrative assistant.
Hi,
Coming,
Kalia.
hi. Coming from that angle, as an executive, you could, as you guys have said, write a policy, but also if you do have a company that you contract with or whatnot, there is the ability to whitelist pages, and you could also blacklist those so they're not able to be accessed for AI. And Copilot is, of course, built into Windows 11. However, there is the capability to disable that as well. So you could do that per those computers for the staff that does not have the approval.
Cool. Thank you for sharing that. Appreciate that. You're with Serving Our Seniors?
I am indeed. I am indeed.
I turned 40 this year. Does that make me a senior?
You got some time.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Who else didn't talk? Push up a list.
I'm sorry if I missed it.
Oh,
You might have been starting to this, but how do you like cross-check AI? Because AI is pulling from so many different sources, not necessarily credible sources. So what do you do to like double check the information you're receiving?
It's a very good question. I try to take the information that I get from AI with grains. So a lot of times, like one of my examples earlier is I put a picture into AI of a flower. And I asked what the variety was, and the AI told me it was a certain variety. That AI was wrong. The lady that had worked there for 15 years or 50 years was like, no, this is a sun patient, this is what it is. So it's a very good point. The information is like the wild, wild west. I like to think that there's a lot of accuracy, but if you are presenting information or you are taking something, you do want to cross-check it. However you do that, I mean, that's one of the things with challenging your AI assistant is asking. You could ask for the references, you could ask where you could look more information up, you could challenge it like that's not what that flower was or whatever the case is. But you know,
trust but verify.
yeah,
That's
it goes back to school, right? Like we're getting our stats. We want to make sure that we have our resource and where things are coming from and just being credible. So that's what I would say.
I think that's a great question. I think it highlights the importance of the human element to all of this, right? That it's not, there's that fear metric out there that's going to replace all these positions and whatnot, and there's going to be a shift, no doubt. But having that human element of understanding what you're asking and what you're getting out of it is still ever so important, especially if you're running or leading or architecting a business. You have to know like what you're getting, what you're asking, and what you want out of it. Right? So there's that human element. What's unique is this whole group here in our the generation now has that as insight from education, growing up, and just real world experiences. The future generations, this will be the reliance on what they rely on and what they know to be true. So there will be an ever more evolving shift with that of the trust and but verify, because that's all they will be able to trust and verify, right? Here we have the internet. We're able to search. We're able to take our real world experiences and kind of compare against. That will shift.
Yeah, and I guess also just to add to that, like, are you referring to like the day-to-day back and forth like interaction, or are you referring to like, I have this, this definitive, thing that I'm working on, and it's gonna be this project, and I need to go deep into it. You can use things like Gemini has grounded search. Perplexity does a lot of the citations for you. Deep research also does that. Any of the LLMs have deep research capability where they'll cite out. So like you'll get the information, but then it'll also have where it found the information too. But like as far as the back and forth stuff, yeah, you kind of got to trust and verify it. Kind of something's off here.
Anyone else? Miss? Tell us about leisure living.
Do you know how you were hacked or
My anxiety just went through the roof.
No, okay, so this is I had a random situation. I was actually hacked in Meta while I was in ads. Like I got hacked through Meta.
Because I do get those emails where they
I get those all the time.
I always delete.
Yeah. All day long. It wasn't like that. I was actually in the space, in the ad space. I went to do the verification, the business verification for my business. It asked if I was okay with talking to it in chat, and as soon as I got the message in chat, it was just taken over from that point. I thought it was obviously we've all seen those, but it was just an opportune time. I'm not really sure, but that's what happened. God wanted me to get off Facebook, and I did. So yeah, but I appreciate everyone in here. I'm happy I got to see some faces. I feel like I know most people in here, but it's nice to talk to you in person. And what's up, Patrick? That's it. That's all I have.
Okay, well, let's give it up to Meg for a program this morning. Once again, our next program will be with Christina's company, Integrated Network Concepts. All right. May 12th at 10 o'clock. You can register online. We do have some GSP related tchotchkes and paraphernalia here. We have some notepads, but the event calendar in particular, there's a QR code that goes to that. Of course, you can just go to greatersandusky.com and find our events calendar. There's some member information. We have our Summer on Sandusky Bay internship experience. It's kicking off in June. If you have any summer interns, please talk to either myself or Alyssa about that. As we mentioned during the program, if you have insurance questions, Mark's your guy. He's got a whole team of people right here in this building that can assist you. And in front of you, and for our virtual friends, I put a link in the chat. We would appreciate it if you could take our member survey. We're trying to get a sense of what our members are looking for in terms of programming and engagement and the like. So there's a QR code in front of you here in person. The link is in the chat virtually, and feel free to share your comments about today's program on there as well. So once again, thank you so much, Mark. Any parting advice as our host here today?
Be safe out there, folks.
All right. Thank you so much. And this concludes our program. Have a great day.
Hey. I expect you to take a yogurt and some muffin. Fruit with you.
I will
cheese.
every last.
It all was good.